First day in office.
Liberation Day.
Caplin News is live with team coverage on President Donald Trump's inauguration. Honoring Martin Luther King Jr.
And we're just all here as one big pot of gumbo of love.
With one of the largest annual parades in the country. And celebrations in the streets after the college football champion is crowned. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Morning, South Florida. I'm Julian Davis.
And I'm Stephanie Tenia. Today is Tuesday, January 21st, 2025.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
Team coverage from Caplin News DC Review on the presidential inauguration. President Donald Trump saw support from Florida Republicans across the state during his inauguration ceremony yesterday.
Caplin News reporter Isabel Rivera is live from our DC bureau with the story. Isabel, good morning.
Good morning, Julian and Stephanie. Despite this being the coldest inauguration day on record for decades, the Sunshine State was definitely felt here in Washington, D.C. Buses of Floridians caravanned up and braved freezing temperatures just to welcome their new president. Take a look. 50 Floridians arrived by bus early Monday morning to celebrate the inauguration of President-elect Donald Trump. Organized by the Florida Republican Assembly, caravanners gathered at Capital One Arena to view the ceremony that was moved indoors on January 17th.
We're going to be here until maybe 10 o'clock at night, and we're just here to say God bless the United States, let's have a good time, and let's just take care of each other because it's really cold.
The trip was a 24-hour journey that made stops from Fort Lauderdale to Jacksonville, arriving in D.C. at 3 in the morning. Riders paid $220 per seat and arrived with high expectations for the new administration, having caravanned and marched 4 years earlier on January 6, 2021.
We came here 4 years ago for what I would call Stop the Steal. Other Americans would call that the January 6th insurrection. So I'd say 80% of the people that are with us were at January 6th, this Stop the Steal. And we love spending time with each other. So it's a good way to talk about the events and see what's coming up.
Others made the journey to commemorate the historic moment, share with loved ones, and partake in what they considered a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Sure, so we flew up from Florida on Friday. It was an experience for my children to come experience the inauguration and also to see our nation's capital and be able to experience the history of this momentous occasion.
Florida will continue to have a heavy presence here in the district for the next few years, especially considering President Trump's new administration. Reporting live from Washington, D.C., for Caplin News, I'm Isabel Rivera.
President Trump fulfilled his promise to take action on his first day, citing dozens of executive orders hours after his sworn-in ceremony.
Our D.C. coverage continues with Ana Trinidad, who is live with a look at what this all means. Ana?
President Trump signed executive orders atop a podium in the Capital One Arena in front of a cheering crowd, taking on immigration, climate change, and pardoning hundreds of insurrectionists.
President Trump's second term began with bold promises fulfilled.
The golden age of America begins right now.
Undoing his predecessor's mandates, Trump signed executive orders rolling back the U.S. from the Paris Climate Agreement and suspending the U.S. refugee admission program. In his speech, Trump cited a national emergency at our southern border and vowed to deport what he calls criminal immigrants. While many viewers stayed at the Capital One Arena, others chose to stay at FIU in DC's indoor watch party, where Floridians like FIU's President Kenneth Jessel believed the president's second term would prioritize the future.
So we know that the Trump administration is going to be evaluating policies with respect to how do we improve the educational opportunities for all people. We don't have to worry about what zip code you're from, your level of wealth, your level of prosperity. We are going to be able to help you get a great education, and we are going to produce, as educational institutions, the leaders of tomorrow.
Reporters from all over the world arrived to D.C. to cover the inauguration, including WPLG reporter Glenna Milberg, who analyzed Trump's emphasis on mass deportation.
You know, he has said that criminals and people with final deportation orders would be the first to go. No one's going to say boo-hoo to see a criminal leave the country, I'm sure, but a lot of people with what's final deportation orders means they've been through the court system.
President Trump is also expected to sign an executive order ending birthright citizenship, although since this is a constitutional right, this is expected to be debated in court. Live from Washington, D.C. for Caplin News, I'm Anna Trinidad.
Right here in Miami, members of the Hispanic community also celebrated Trump's inauguration with a watch party at Versailles restaurant in Little Havana. Caplin News reporter Alejandro Marquina was there and has more on this story.
So we're here at Versailles, located in A Street, where dozens of people from the Hispanic community gathered to watch President Trump's inauguration ceremony. USA! 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 On Inauguration Day, many people from the Hispanic community decided to express their support for the now 47th President Donald Trump, here in Versailles, located in Miami's Little Havana. With a TV, merchandise, and even a Trump impersonator, these people were ready to watch and celebrate Trump's swearing-in ceremony in the pure Miami style.
You know, Versailles, this is where you want to be, because you see, all the honking, everybody's here, all the energy that's here, especially because Trump won. Everybody here loves Trump, and the whole community nearby in the area likes to come together here in Versailles when it comes to politics.
Many of these supporters, such as Miguel Saavedra, expressed his opinion on why Trump's second presidential term is so important for this country. There's going to be a change in the United States, a change so big that is needed because of the disaster that we had for 4 years full of lies. Trump has the majority in Congress, so that means he has all the tools to help a country that is in need. Then, after Trump said the words,
"The office of President of the United States."
Now, as you can see, there was a lot of enthusiasm here, as most of them are hopeful that Trump is going to help the Hispanic community. Reporting for Caplin News, I'm Alejandro Marquina.
Following the inauguration of Donald Trump, former President Biden is stepping to express his gratitude to the country. He also said farewell to members of his administration. Emphasized how grateful he was for the work they did and how much of an honor it was to serve alongside his members.
Let me close where I began with my sincere gratitude, and I really mean it from the bottom of my heart. I've been doing this for 50 years with the best group of people. Hard to say. It's been the honor of my life to serve as your president. And I tell you what, greater honor is being able to serve with all of you.
Now, out of the White House, the Bidens are going to Santa Ynez, California to spend some time with their son Hunter and his family before they plan to spend the majority of their time in Delaware.
Also last night, the Senate confirmed Florida Republican Senator Marco Rubio as Secretary of State. Rubio became the first cabinet official in the new Trump administration to be Senate approved. Rubio's nomination to become Secretary of State was overwhelmingly bipartisan, and he called it, quote, a great honor to be confirmed by his former colleagues.
Extremely critical fire weather advisory was issued for over 3 million people. It was issued yesterday for residents across Southern California. The weather alert comes after another wind event was expected to occur around yesterday afternoon and evening. Affected areas include part of the Los Angeles and Ventura counties, which are currently under a red flag warning this morning. The wind event may last through midweek.
Time is no longer ticking for TikTok thanks to President Trump's executive order. After the app went dark late Saturday night, President Trump extended TikTok's stay in the U.S. on his first day of office. The video sharing platform came back online Sunday, but the law is still in effect. This means that if the app is not sold in the U.S. in 75 days, TikTok may be banned again.
Yesterday, one of the largest annual Martin Luther King Jr. Days parade in the country, followed by the Pack We Walk during his visit to Miami. This year, Caplin News reporter Nicole Etzberg took the streets of Liberty City for this legendary event.
Here in Liberty City, streets are filled with the sights and the sounds of the 48th annual Martin Luther King
parade is a vibrant reminder of the ongoing efforts to live out Dr. King's vision, and for many in Miami, it's an opportunity to reflect on how much his legacy still shapes the city.
This right here is a melting pot. This right here is a reflection of Dr. King's vision to unite the community of all ethnicities, all races, all genders, and we're just all here as one big pot of gumbo of love. And this is what the reflection of South Florida Miami-Dade is all about. It's just everybody, man, just beating each other where we are and just embracing each other.
The parade's theme, Don't Give Up on the Dream, marked a milestone, the 60th anniversary of Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech, which he delivered during the March on Washington in 1963. His message of hope and unity continues to inspire.
It means that we have to keep the dream alive. We cannot lose the dream. It's very important. We're teaching the kids today, even if they don't want to teach it in the schools. I tell my neighbors' kids, I still tell my daughter, we still tell the kids, it's important, it matters, the dream matters, and the dream will never die.
Today, Miamians showed us that they're not only honoring Dr. King's memory, they're continuing the fight for a better future. For Caplin News, I'm Nicolette Esper.
The college football national championship comes down to the final minutes.
That's still ahead, and so is the story.
We here in Miami, we consider the Venezuelans a part of our culture here in Miami.
A high-stakes match on their pitch between two teams with a following in South Florida. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
See us dream. See us remember. See us protest.
You matter. Your feelings matter. Your identity matters. Everything about who you are matters.
See us fight back. See us rebuild. See us shatter stereotypes. See us inspire. See us united. See us now.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
While Inter Miami won their first game of the preseason in Las Vegas last weekend, Chase Stadium welcomed U.S. and Venezuelan fans for a friendly match. Over the weekend, the U.S. men's national soccer team faced Venezuela at the Chase Stadium in an international friendly match.
As Caplin News reporter Mauro Rueda reports, both communities gather around to embrace both cultures.
Thousands of Venezuelans and Americans came here together at Chase Stadium to witness an international friendly match between both countries. We set out to ask how a sporting event like this one can bring together two communities that are so dear to the heart of South Florida. The Chase Stadium came alive this past weekend as both the American and Venezuelan national soccer teams faced each other. The match served as a bridge for these two communities to unite. This was the case for Jonathan Fretz and Mario de Miquel.
So I've known Mario for 15 years, 15 años, ¿no? Algo así. We here in Miami, we consider the Venezuelans a part of our culture here in Miami.
Prior to the game, both fan bases shared their predictions.
Today, we focus on victory, pushing ourselves to be fully prepared when the qualifiers begin.
Some of them weren't too far off.
I think we're going to win maybe 3-1.
¡Vamos, Venezuela!
During the match, drums and screams took over the stadium as the U.S. won the game 3-1.
I think that tactically, I think USA were superior, and I think in the final third we were superior as well. So
the Venezuelan supporters also shared their thoughts after the game.
The result didn't reflect the match. We had our strong moments, but today the USA had luck on their side. It is what it is.
Despite taking the loss, the Venezuelan squad does not lose hope.
We'll keep working, giving everything that we have to qualify for that long-awaited World Cup.
As you can see, both fan bases got to experience 90 minutes of thrilling action here in Fort Lauderdale. Venezuela will continue their quest to go to the World Cup for the first time in history in March, while the United States has another friendly in Orlando against Costa Rica on Wednesday, January 22nd. Reporting for Caplin News, I'm Mauro Rueda.
College football has a new champion in Ohio State University after beating Notre Dame in the college football playoff final last night. The Buckeyes broke away from the Irish in 31-7 in the third quarter. The Irish, looking for a comeback, closed the gap 31-23, and in a defense drive for Notre Dame, Ohio State put the nail in the coffin with a field goal. The final score was Ohio State 34, Notre Dame 23.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Stephanie Tenia.
And I'm Julian Davis. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.